older, I found that a little bit more challenging, right? CoQ10 gives us what we need. So I know many of you are ordering again and you're restocking, but if you've never tried this before, this is a game changer. So one last time, because I want to dig back in with Andrew. If you're ordering, here's what most people are doing. Andrew is offering free vitamin D3, no charge for it. You can do CoQ10 by itself, and the price is $169 and change. Normal price is $400. That's what the price will be in just a couple hours from now. If you would like to have, and Andrew said it's almost like a mini multivitamin, I suppose it really, really is. If you would like to add in vitamin D3, well, now the price would be $507. Your price is still the same at $169. So if I could push you perhaps to think about ordering vitamin D3, I think it's a fabulous way to go, saving substantially more than you're spending. And Andrew, for many of us, as I've learned from you, vitamin D3 is, many of us are deficient.
Well, 80 to 100% of Americans who are not supplementing vitamin D will be observed to have deficiency or insufficiency of vitamin D. So that's why, for me, vitamin D just goes without saying. We're not running around partially clad in the sunshine all the time. And as we get older, our ability to synthesize vitamin D struggles nonetheless. So it's something that just goes without saying as being important. And as long as CoQ10 is my most popular product, my most popular Today Special, then I figured vitamin D is so important. It's referred to not just as an epidemic, but a worldwide pandemic, deficiency and insufficiency of vitamin D. I figured we might as well give it away. So that's what we've been doing the last few years with our Today Special of Coenzyme Q10. So whether you want 1,000 or 2,000, or whether even if you don't want CoQ10, you have a choice. So I was looking at our remaining quantity. In all the different sizes, we're down to in the hundreds in all the different sizes.
Right.
So we hold back a certain number of capsules. We manufacture everything, because we can't predict exactly how it will go.
Right.
So over the next couple of hours, we'll be going through those remaining capsules.
And if you're on hold right now, please be patient. We will get to you. If you are ordering, best thing to do is express ordering or go to hsn.com where you'll be first in line. But as we stand here now, we are rapidly running out of Andrew's #1 selling, top-rated product. It's not a CoQ10 product. It is, if you stack it up against any other one, the best in the world. And Andrew, after 35 years of doing it, I mean, it just gets better and better and better.
And what I'm gonna do now is some charts and some of the science. The science is compelling. Earlier today, we were going through some of the science on the skin. And it's something I haven't talked about often in the past, but as our skin is exposed to, say, ultraviolet radiation, which is the most aging factor in terms of our skin, CoQ10 is protective of our skin from UV damage, and CoQ10 is depleted by UV exposure. And supplementing CoQ10 has been shown to improve the health of skin and to reduce wrinkling of skin. So CoQ10, or whether we're talking earlier today, I was reading some of the science on periodontal health, on our gum health. I'm often asked, what's the most important single ingredient, if there is a single ingredient, I could take for gum health, the health of my gums? CoQ10 at the top of the list, vitamin D as well, also omega-3s. The health of my ears and my hearing. All of us, as we age, our hearing suffers. Again, top of the list, CoQ10. So CoQ10, simply because all of these critical systems in our body, their role is really to produce energy to do their work. So they not only, in our society, at our home, we get energy sent to us. Right. In our body, not only do all these systems and organs have to do their work, but they are responsible for their own energy production to do that work. CoQ10 is the critical sort of rate-limiting component in the ability of all these organs and systems to protect themselves and to do the work they do, which is twofold. So I just grabbed some more of the science charts. I'm not sure which ones I grabbed, but they're all fascinating. Some talk about cardiovascular health, which there's no more important single nutrient in terms of supporting good heart function than CoQ10. Much more important than omega-3s, as important as omega-3s are. The purpose of this systematic review was to examine markers of mitochondrial function that have evidence of an association with fatigue. All the energy in all of our bodies is made in our mitochondria. In fact, on this bottle, here, as I lean across here, whoops, on this bottle, that little blue image there, That's an electron micrograph. That's an electron microscope looking at inside our cells. Those are 3 mitochondria. And all of our cells contain thousands of mitochondria. All the energy that every human being experiences, our dogs, our cats experience, it's all produced in mitochondria. So if you want to understand energy production and fatigue, it's all about understanding mitochondrial function. So that's why this study, that's why they're looking at markers of mitochondrial function that are evidence of an association with fatigue. The most commonly investigated mitochondrial enzyme was CoQ10.
Right.
It was the only mitochondrial biomarker found to have a consistent association with fatigue identified in this review. CoQ10 has been shown to have clinical benefits attributed to its antioxidant properties and its role in cellular bioenergetics. It transports the electrons, that is the electrical potential that gives us the energy we experience. Hence, it is being used as a therapeutic option for a number of mitochondria-related clinical conditions. I would say it's not a clinical condition, but a mitochondrial-related condition that most of us suffer from. It's just fatigue.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just being tired.
Right.
It's many of us think it's old age. In fact, from here at Current Neurovascular Research, fatigue is the 7th most common symptom in primary health care, meaning that it's in the top 10 of issues and complaints that we talk about when we go see a doctor. Fatigue is defined physiologically as the inability to maintain the expected power output. For you and me, fatigue just means you lack the energy you would like to have to do the things you would like to do. And CoQ10, unlike a stimulant like caffeine or those energy drinks or just calories, CoQ10 is different. CoQ10 is the energetic potential that exists not just in any one of our cells, but all of the hundreds of trillions of cells. So I always think about our health, our well-being, our internal environment, our energy. It is the result of the collective experience of the hundreds of trillions of cells in our body, if that makes sense. That we might seem like an individual, but we know that we're only as healthy as our brain is functioning, or our heart is functioning, or our liver is functioning, or our lungs. But when you really look at it, our experience of energy and how well it all works is how well that collective assemblage of cells are producing the energy required for the functions that we demand. And if not, we are the first to know about it. And CoQ10 is the first line, the most intricately integrated into the cellular mechanics that are the energy production, that how we go about moving those electrons. And again, when we think about our lives, we think about our lives on this large human scale, but the energy we experience in our lives, that energy is being created on the most microscopic atomic level. It is the movement of electrons. It's the movement of electrical potential between molecules. And CoQ10 is really central to that process. And unfortunately, as we get older, once we're over the age of 20, our levels start to go down, which means our ability to produce energy struggles. Our organs, our key organs, their ability to function optimally will struggle. And after age 20, I would love to say that we can get it from some dietary source, but unless you're, and it all makes sense, unless you're eating calf hearts or chicken hearts or livers or brains, organ meat, you're not getting it. But think about that. The reason why those organs are the richest by far in CoQ10, like us, CoQ10 is concentrated in their most vital organs that absolutely need to have energy to spare all the time, or life is compromised.
The benefits are real, the results are real, 3,300 five-star reviews are real. For me, it's a non-negotiable. I mean, Andrew mentioned caffeines and sugars and the things that we do to artificially give us that moment of energy, that feeling of, okay, I can get through the day or I can do what I need to do. It's temporary. This is giving our body what it needs. You've got to get CoQ10 in your life. I never took it my entire life. I was taking the energy drinks, especially in this job. I'm on every day, different hours here, there, and everywhere. This changed everything for me. My wife takes it religiously. You've got to take it as well. In my humble opinion, it is a dramatic difference in terms of how you feel. Now, I also want to say, because it's always a privilege to be out here with Andrew, these are the easiest presentations on earth to do, because what we're offering is simply the best. Not my opinion, if you stack this up to the other CoQ10 products, the ones that maybe you've been purchasing for many years, and you look and compare, there is no comparison. I'll also go so far as to say this. In the years that I've been working with Andrew, there has never been a bigger or more compelling today's special, ever, which is why we're about to sell out. Let me show you the pricing. I got to do that real fast because they did tell me in our next hour, we were supposed to have 2 pretty substantial presentations. Our next hour, the presentation has been trimmed down because we're running out. Here's why. Finest CoQ10 in the world, finest CoQ10 in the world. Normally 50, 100, 200. Normally the largest sizes are 240 capsules. Today and today only for the next couple hours, we have a 400 and a 600 capsule opportunity. The normal price on the 600 is $400. Our price today is $169.90, a massive $230 savings. You can do the CoQ10 by itself, or you can choose CoQ10 with vitamin D3. Andrew explained, vitamin D3 is something we need. Many of us are deficient in it. What I'm about to say sounds incredible, but it's true. If you order the vitamin D3, it's free. You can order it without it, or with it, the price remains the same. But, of course, this has gone up. That's the if purchased separately at $507 and change. But there's also more.
But in the past, the vitamin C wasn't part of the product, the B12 wasn't, the vitamin D. We've just learned that for CoQ10 to be at its very best, the vitamin C, the B12, B-complex make an enormous difference, especially our quality of those nutrients.
Right.
Because as deficient and insufficient as we all might be in CoQ10, we all are likely about the same when it comes to B12. But most B12 in a supplement is useless. Our B12 in a supplement is anything but. Our B12 in a supplement is orally absorbable. It's a special form of B12. It's the natural coenzyme form, and it's also protected so that the acid in your stomach doesn't destroy it. So just as a B12 supplement with vitamin C, that is already worth the investment. As my original vitamin D, when we first originally introduced vitamin D, it was more expensive than this product is. So to think that you're getting all of those wonderful support ingredients, basically like a multivitamin,
right,
and you're also getting 200 milligrams. Remember, my first CoQ10 when I introduced it in 1984 was 30 milligrams. And 30 milligrams at that time was about 50 cents a capsule. 50 cents a capsule for 30 milligrams. Today, for 200 milligrams, about 7 times more, plus the vitamin C and the B-complex and the vitamin D, for about 7 times more, you're spending less than half as much, which is just, it's like, I'm not sure how much cars cost in 1984, but imagine being able to pay 10 cents on the dollar for a car today. That,
Andrew.
Oh, that's from our 2000, and that's the actual price from back in that's from 2000 to 2006.
Yeah.
That's the actual price to show you over the decades how much more affordable we have been able to make this product. And that's what the one point is, it's never going to go back up to that price, but I'm not sure if the Today Special we have today will be the Today Special we'll have next year. I hope it is, and I hope I could say that it's sort of like the boy who cried wolf, but as I said earlier, and I even mentioned in the green room, I just unfortunately got an email about a week or so ago saying that the cost of CoQ10 could potentially double.
Yep.
I think it's nonsense. It better not. So I'm going to do my best to battle against that. But just know that the incredible pricing, we'll still offer incredible pricing given the marketplace, but it might not be as incredible as it is today.
Well, I appreciate knowing the facts, and Andrew has always done that. As you can hear, Andrew, give us the details. In fact, this is the first time of all the Today's Specials I've done with Andrew that I actually ordered it at midnight when Andrew launched with Colleen, because I knew the deal was so strong. I knew it was such a massive opportunity. So in our final 15 minutes or so, we would love for you to place your order. This is a one-shot deal, one time per year. We stock up, this is the day.
And a 3.5 month, I mean, I love this. We'll talk about I think our circulation vein support a little later. I love talking about products that can make such a meaningful difference in everyone's lives, because this time of year in October, there's a 3.5 month money back guarantee. I'd love to have a 3.5 month money back guarantee year round. Maybe I could talk HSN into doing that. But what's great about in October and November and December, you get this extended opportunity, because I know how well these products perform. And sometimes it's just knowing that you have that longer period, which makes you feel a little bit more comfortable and at ease. And especially, I've been around doing this for 40 years. HSN's been doing this for over 40 years. We're not going anywhere, so you know, if you want to send it back, we're both here to get it. You won't.
And I do want to assure you, because this is a big deal. What Andrew's saying, and Andrew, so many of our wonderful partners, they have that crazy look in the eye when I say there's like this huge return policy. No normal store does it.
I love it.
We're proud to do it. And especially with Andrew's products, the one thing I do want to stress, if you call tomorrow, the price of this is not $169, it's $400.
It won't exist.
It won't even exist, so it's priceless.
No, it's priceless. No, tomorrow, because we'll sell out of the 600 count tonight, it goes back to its normal size, which is a 240 count, and the 240 count will be basically the same price as the 600 count today.
Wow.
So it really is an exceptional opportunity, and that the counter on the screen, if you understand that, say the majority of those, and also I hope it's that you notice that most companies, they have one size or two sizes maybe, that we have 4 different sizes, and we have 4 different versions. So we go to the trouble to make 12 different versions for you for this Today Special. But nonetheless, the ability to know that, say, the most popular 2/3 are that large 2000 IU CoQ10.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and in the large bottle, that our production becomes so efficient for this one day, and we are a manufacturer. No one else makes this for you but us. So it's our production, it's our efficiency, and that's why we do this incredible Today Special once a year. But there's so much science that I just love to go over the science, and I hope I don't bore everyone.
Never.
I could read the reviews, and certainly the reviews are compelling. The reviews can bring tears to your eyes, but you could always read those online. And again, the reviews on this product are basically about 95+% positive.
Yep.
Over 85% of the reviews are 5-star reviews.
Yep.
You add 4-star reviews in, you're well over 90%. So it really is a product that you'll get at home. There isn't a better CoQ10 product in the world, and someone far more knowledgeable than me invented CoQ10 millennia ago. And so all I've done, this is just part of our inherent blueprint. We cannot make energy without CoQ10. It is an indispensable molecule. We struggle as we get older. Almost all the drugs we take undermine what little CoQ10 we have in our body. Cholesterol-lowering statin drugs lower our CoQ10 precipitously. Antidepressants, beta blockers for blood pressure or for cardiac rhythm issues, whatever it might be. Bisphosphonates for osteoporosis or osteopenia. There are all sorts of classes of drugs that undermine our ability to have the CoQ10 we need to produce the energy, and it's no wonder the most common side effect to so many of these drugs is fatigue. But let's read some more of these. This is quotes from the science.
And Andrew, just one quick thing, just so everybody, while we're listening, just so you can get some idea, our quantity counter is ticking away. We started the day with approximately 50,000. So as you're hearing Andrew, please bear in mind where that's heading. So as that continues to tick up, you see we're rapidly losing what is available. So I definitely don't want you to miss out on this one-day opportunity. It's a game changer. It's a life changer. And for many of you who are first timers and have never had a CoQ10 product, please remember that with the extended return policy, you get extra opportunity to see the positive impact it has for you.
So you're going to let me read some science?
Yes.
You're like avoiding the science. No, so this is from Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition. As a general rule, tissues with high energy requirements or metabolic activity, such as the heart, kidney, liver, and muscle, and brain, of course, contain relatively high concentrations of CoQ10. And we're talking exceedingly high. Human CoQ10 levels range from about 8 micrograms per gram in the lung to 114 micrograms per gram in the heart.
Wow.
That's why it is just so critical for cardiovascular health. I was talking earlier if you have a purebred dog or just dogs in general as they get older, open up a capsule. I put about 1/4 of a capsule of this in Lincoln's food and Marcel's food every single day.
Right.
So they get about 30 to 50 milligrams every single day. Dietary contribution of CoQ10 is estimated to be only 3 to 5 milligrams per day. So as we get older, that 3 to 5 milligrams per day is inadequate. And the only way you get more is if you start eating liver every day, if you start eating basically heart every day,
right.
organ meats, which of course is not necessarily a good idea. CoQ10 plays an important role in skin. Oh, we talked about this, due to its bioenergetics and antioxidant properties. And this effect might be related to the CoQ10 content of skin itself, especially the epidermis. It's there to protect our skin, not just to make energy, but to protect our skin. And protecting skin is about being able to produce energy.
Right.
It's defending our body is an energy-demanding process. We have already shown that prolonged intake of CoQ10 for at least 2 weeks in humans reduces the wrinkle area rate and wrinkle volume per unit area in the corner of the eye. So if you think about all the different creams and lotions and potions we use that only are plumping things externally, if you want to make a difference internally where it really counts, we talk about phytoceramides, we talk about collagen peptides, the things that work on the inside of your body, CoQ10 works perfectly with them on the inside of your body. In conclusion, we also found that CoQ10 intake elevates the epidermal CoQ10 level naturally, which may result in reduction of wrinkles as well as other benefits with the potent antioxidant and energizing effects on the skin. And if as you get older you feel like your skin's losing that pep and energy, then CoQ10 is critical for your skin just as it is for your heart, just as it is for your brain and liver. It was previously shown that levels of CoQ10 are also lowered in skin cells from older donors, suggesting that a decrease in mitochondrial CoQ10 content is an integral aspect of skin aging. So if you want to keep your skin youthful, CoQ10 is an integral component of that.
And this is following the science.
Well, this formula is all about the science. In some tissues, such as aged skin, supplemental CoQ10 can restore normal levels. The biological improvements prominently mediated by CoQ10 supplementation, prominently mediated, have highly beneficial effects on wrinkle prevention and wrinkle repair.
Right.
So we usually don't talk about this when we talk about CoQ10.
These are strong words.
We talk about here's the investigative ophthalmology and visual science. The retina is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress. That's why lutein and zeaxanthin are so important. Since the retina's oxygen consumption rate is greater than any other tissue, relatively large amounts of reactive oxygen species are formed. And reactive ROS, reactive oxygen species, cause damage. The relative concentration of CoQ10, coupled with its ability to act as an efficient antioxidant, suggests that CoQ10 may function as a powerful antioxidant in the eye. Not may, it does. Right. CoQ10 can efficiently protect membrane phospholipids from lipid peroxidation and protect mitochondrial membrane proteins and DNA from oxidative damage. Again, many scientists will say that we're only as old as our mitochondrial genetic material, our mitochondrial RNA. They measure telomeres in our mitochondria. So if you want to give an ingredient that not only potentiates energy production in the mitochondrion, where all energy is produced, but also protects the mitochondrion. Again, this is when you look at Mother Nature's design. CoQ10 is not only indispensable to transporting electrons, which become that movement of electrical potential is the energy we experience, but free radicals, these damaging molecules, these are sort of errant electrons. And what CoQ10 does, CoQ10 can scavenge those otherwise dangerous and damaging molecules. So CoQ10 plays a dual role in both creating and potentiating energy, but also protecting us from fallout, which is constantly going on in our biological system.
And this is what's always so interesting to hear. I mean, you're listening to the science. So there's a lot of benefits here that maybe you knew about, maybe you didn't know about. We could do this all night long, and I wish we could. Sadly, we are running out of time.
But I'm going to keep going.
There's more science.
Because to me, the science is everything.
It is.
It's everything. Because CoQ10 is not something, again, I wish we could get it from our diet.
Right.
But these are the best sources of CoQ10 in our diet. A pork heart, So if you want to eat a pork heart every day to get the equivalent of the 200 milligrams of our CoQ10 you have in this product, you'll have to have about 2¼ pounds of pork heart every day, or 3 pounds of chicken heart, or 3½ pounds of chicken liver, or 4 pounds of beef heart, or 10 pounds of beef liver. And the reason why is because of the importance of CoQ10 for the energy of a pig or a chicken or a cow, because just like us, the energy in their liver, in their heart, in those vital tissues, it determines their ability to live. It determines our ability to function. So unfortunately, that's why a prior scientific chart said we get about 3 to 5 milligrams per day of CoQ10 from our diet, because that's not what we're eating. And even if you had, if you had a chicken breast, so to get 200 milligrams of CoQ10, it would take 35 pounds of chicken breast. That means you're getting what, about 6 milligrams, roughly 6 milligrams per pound. So if you had 1/4 pound, you're basically getting about 1½ milligrams. It makes sense that you get 3 to 5 milligrams a day. So that's why CoQ10, like vitamin D, like B12, these are ingredients that are not available in our diet. And if we're not supplementing them, then, as I often say, then there are consequences, because we're going to have low levels. And when it comes to CoQ10, low levels means that we don't have enough CoQ10 to support optimum energy production, which then means optimum function. Not just that we have fatigue, but that our systems and organs in our body can't function optimally. One of the consequences of that might be fatigue.
If you're like me and you don't have cravings for pork heart or chicken heart.
Although, when you're in France, liver is an awfully yummy thing in France.
That's different.
Muriel has definitely forced me to acquire, forced me to acquire a very bad habit. And that's because in liver, everyone in her family in France eats liver. So I've been known to
When in Rome, Andrew.
When in Rome, exactly.
Well, we are thrilled that you're loving this as much as we are. Folks, you get the understanding that we have to have this. It makes such a beneficial impact on our lives. At this stage in the game, I see you there, hsn.com if you want to beat the rush. Let me quickly go over the pricing one last time so you know where we stand. Incidentally, when we're done, we're going to show you our second today's special, showing you how you can eat the most delicious chocolate in the world and at the same time help lower your cholesterol. I know it sounds amazing, it's true. Here's the pricing offer. If you're ordering right now, and I'm gonna go straight to here. Forgive me for doing so, but I am. I take 2 capsules a day, and probably you will as well. So this, to keep us going for the year, makes the most sense. The price tomorrow, if there was any left, would be $400. The price today is $169.90. That price expires in just a few short hours. The saving is $230. If you dial in, certainly in the next few minutes, not only do you get to choose whether you want just Coenzyme Q10, you might select to get Coenzyme Q10 plus vitamin D3. And that's what I did.
That's where 90% of everyone is going. Whether it's the 1,000 IU of vitamin D3 or the 2,000 IU of vitamin D3, but we also have it available with just CoQ10 on its own with the vitamin C and B complex.
Because essentially it's free. I mean,
not essentially, it is free.
It is free.
They're all the same price, whichever one you choose.
With or without, the retail value goes up, of course, because now we're including it. And as Andrew said, there are so many supporting products. If you just broke that down, the D3, $108, B12, $108, vitamin C, $75, right, Andrew?
And even the vitamin C, that's a 600-day supply of each one of those. So we're just using the large size as a comparison. But any one of the sizes, the comparison is exactly the same proportions. So you're looking at any one of those ingredients as really justifying the investment. But I have more science to go over here. And one that's, this is another chart on the eye, as we go over there. Thanks. From Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science, CoQ10 levels in the retina can decline by approximately 40% with age, which means our retina can't produce energy as efficiently, can't protect itself from free radicals as efficiently. That's not something that's ideal.
Right.
This decline may have 2 consequences, a decrease in antioxidant ability and a decrease in the rate of ATP synthesis. Because these tissues protecting themselves, they need to produce energy. And also CoQ10 is inherently protective as well. So as such, this decline may be linked to the progression of macular degeneration. So not in terms of the disease, AMD, but in terms of the gradual normal deterioration of our retina and our visual system that comes with age. CoQ10 is a critical part of protecting that. From current neurovascular research, there is evidence that mitochondrial dysfunction and oxidative stress are directly related to fatigue in humans. We talked about fatigue earlier.
Yeah.
Thus, enhancement of mitochondrial functions with CoQ10 may be an important mechanism by which fatigue can be reduced. If you read the reviews, that's probably one of the most common comments in the reviews. Medical Science Monitor. CoQ10 is critical for the cell power supply in the mitochondria. Right. Neurons require high energy for synaptic transmission. Neurons are nerve cells. And therefore, the mitochondrial dysfunction often leads to neuronal degeneration as observed in many neurological issues. So again, our nervous system, our nerves require energy production, CoQ10. So as we see our CoQ10 levels go down with medications we might be taking or just age, it has consequences. From molecular neurobiology, administration of CoQ10 has positive mood enhancing effects. CoQ10 treatment significantly reduces fatigue and improves ergonomic performance, work performance during exercise, and thus may have potential in alleviating the exercise intolerance and exhaustion displayed by people with fatigue-related symptoms. So again, if exercise is important, CoQ10 might help you overcome some obstacles. From Biochimica and Biofisica Acta, I think it's an Italian journal.
I get that monthly.
I'm sure you do. Low levels of CoQ10 were consistently associated with fatigue. CoQ10 was the most studied mitochondrial enzyme where reduced plasma levels of CoQ10 were found in the fatigued populations compared to healthy controls. So, as I said before, you could track optimal organ function, you could track fatigue by CoQ10 level. Because CoQ10 increases cellular ATP, adenosine triphosphate, a key molecule, key energy storage and transfer molecule in our body, high energy phosphate, production via mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation, its supplementation could help improve fatigue and other symptoms in frequent and persistent fatigue. There's kind of a theme through all these medical journals. From Antioxidants and Redox Signaling, another journal. Oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and CoQ10 deficiency have been well documented in frequent and persistent fatigue. Emerging data suggests that CoQ10 deficiencies have been described in patients with frequent and persistent fatigue. Preliminary data have shown a remarkable clinical improvement after initiating oral CoQ10 supplementation in patients with frequent and persistent fatigue. Again, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. All it is a basic molecule that's involved in the transfer of electrons that is the energy we all experience. And then we'll just use this last one. Fatigue is often described by patients as a lack of energy, mental or physical, tiredness, diminished endurance, and the need for a prolonged recovery after physical activity. Dysfunctions in the mitochondrial structure, mitochondrial function, mitochondrial energy metabolism were investigated as potential contributors to fatigue. I think this one continues. Yep. And CoQ10 was the most studied mitochondrial enzyme where reduced plasma levels of CoQ10 were found in the fatigue populations compared to healthy controls. So again, it's not a drug, it's not a medicine. In a funny way, I'd say it's far better. It's what our body uses and has always used to produce the energy we experience. But as we get older, the things we do in Western society, the medications we take, all conspire to lower the levels of CoQ10 that we have available to experience our lives as well as we'd like.
I mean, there's so much that we've learned, from eyes to mood to just general well-being. But there's that one word, fatigue. Today, was it today you said, I feel so tired? Well, you get out of bed and you feel, I want to go back to bed. It's fatigue. We're under attack. It's under, I mean, in terms of CoQ10 levels as we age, it's under attack. And fatigue seems like such an okay word. It doesn't seem like such a bad word. It just feels like you're tired. But when you really start digging in, when you're tired, everything suffers. You know it doesn't have to be that way. This is 35 years old. It's the most advanced formula. It has over 3,000 perfect 5-star reviews. And if you order it before midnight, you've got till the end of January of 2020 to start feeling the benefits. If you don't, you can return this to us for a full refund of the purchase price. You've got to try it. So many times things come and they pass us by and we think about it. There's no proof needed. The proof is all there. The science, as Andrew shared. They're not letting us spend a lot more time because we are running out. So last time If you want to place your order, the only chance this year to be able to get this value, not only bigger, better, more wonderful sizing to give you best bang for your buck, but we are including vitamin D3 and so much more. These are included. It's like a mini multivitamin, Andrew.
Well, that's why I say if you're just going to swallow one capsule, then this should be that one capsule.
Yeah.
Because you're getting your CoQ10, which is just indispensable. It would be the most important vitamin if it were defined as a vitamin. Vitamins are technically defined as coenzymes. They go to work in your body as coenzymes. And coenzyme Q10 would be a vitamin, except your body can make small amounts of it. But after the age of 20, those amounts go down rather dramatically as we get older. So CoQ10 technically really is a vitamin. You add in the full B-complex with our special B12, you add in the vitamin C, you add in the vitamin D, and this really is a multivitamin, a very high potency multivitamin with 200 milligrams of CoQ10. And if you choose 2,000 IU of vitamin D3, 300 milligrams of the most all natural, non-acidic vitamin C. In addition to that, our special natural coenzyme form of B12, which for many of you, B12 might be just as important to how you feel as is vitamin D as the CoQ10.
Well, Andrew, they're telling us I got to wrap it up. We've got to head over this way.
This year, we spent much less time on CoQ10 than we did last year. We had to do it or we wouldn't have had enough to last the day. So we're just going to have a very abbreviated look at it at the end of the next hour.
Okay.
And then it goes back to its regular pricing. And hopefully, in 2020, I'm going to tell you, false alarm, the price isn't going to go up on CoQ10. But I have a funny feeling that, what do they say, all good things must come to an end? It's not going to skyrocket the price, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be as, what I call the price of CoQ10 when you consider all that you're getting in that product for 25 cents a capsule in the large size for something that used to cost a few dollars a capsule 30 years ago, 35 years ago. That's pretty remarkable.
I love those charts that we showed, like $1,500 price comparison to...
In fact, when we probably introduced CoQ10 in 1984, you could go to a phone booth and you can make a phone call for a dime. And at that time, this CoQ10 would have probably cost you